My name is Clara. I am 39 years old. I live in a small town where the streets smell of the sea and the wind is always a little cold. I am married to Daniel, who is 42. We have been together for 12 years. We have two daughters, Lily, who is 11, and Sophie, who is 8. From the outside, people think we are an ordinary, happy family, but my heart knows how much has changed. When I think back to our first years of marriage, I remember warm mornings. Daniel would leave for work, and I would wave from the window with a smile. We had a small home, nothing special, but every corner felt alive. I worked in a little bakery in town. The smell of fresh bread and sweet rolls would follow me home. Daniel would sometimes stop by after work just to see me behind the counter. We would laugh as I gave him a cinnamon bun for free. We had enough money to pay the bills and still go for weekend walks, buy ice cream for the girls, and sometimes even go to the cinema. I truly believed we would always live like this. Everything began to change when the bakery got a new manager, a woman named Mrs. Graham. From the first day, I felt her dislike. If I was 5 minutes late because the bus was slow, she would say in a loud voice, "Some people think time waits for them." If I decorated a cake with care, she would find a mistake in the cream. I worked harder, hoping she would see my effort, but nothing pleased her. One morning, she shouted at me in front of customers. My hands were shaking so much I could not serve the bread properly. That night, I sat at the kitchen table and told Daniel everything. He listened, held my hand, and said, "Clara, you did the right thing by leaving. No job is worth your health." At that moment, I felt loved. I thought he would always stand by me. For the first few weeks, Daniel was kind. He said, "Take your time. You'll find something better." But slowly, his tone changed. One evening, after a long day at work, he placed his wallet on the table and said, "Clara, you stay home all day. I'm tired of covering all the expenses by myself. I thought you would find a new job quickly." His words hit me hard. I have always dreamed of having a third child. Even before Sophie was born, I envisioned having 3 kids. I thought maybe now was the right moment. I was at home and could give the baby my full attention. One night, I shared my thoughts with Daniel. I was considering having another baby. He looked at me in disbelief. Then his voice grew louder. "You don't care about me, do you? I can't support a larger family on my own. I'm exhausted from sleepless nights, sick babies, and constant expenses." The sound of his yelling brought my daughters to the kitchen door. They stood there, wide-eyed, and I felt something inside me shatter. I hoped my daughters would understand. But a few days later, Lily quietly said, "Mom, we feel embarrassed when you talk about having more children. We're not wealthy, and you don't even have a job right now." Her words weighed heavily on my heart. My mother-in-law was equally harsh. "Your daughters will grow up and get married soon. Why start over with diapers and bottles?" she remarked. I managed a weak smile, but inside I was screaming. Even though I wasn't working in a store, my days were far from easy. I cleaned the house, cooked meals, did laundry, ironed shirts, assisted the girls with their homework, and even helped my parents in their garden. But no one acknowledged my efforts. No one said, "Thank you, Clara." I spent nothing on myself and wore old clothes. My mother occasionally brought me a new scarf or a small bottle of face cream, which I would hide away like a precious treasure. I regretted not saving money from my bakery job. Now I had to ask Daniel for every single coin. One morning, I woke up feeling as if my body was made of stone. My head ached, my chest felt heavy. From the kitchen, I could hear Daniel's voice cutting through the air. "Where is my shirt? Where is my lunch?" I covered my ears with the blanket. I just wanted some peace. After the girls left for school, I sat on the kitchen floor and cried until my body trembled. I thought, why am I living like this? Why does no one notice me? That day, I didn't cook or clean. When Daniel returned home, he asked, "What did you do all day?" I whispered. I tried to take a breath. He didn't get it. That night, I stood on the balcony, gazing at the stars. The cold air brushed against my face. I thought, maybe there's still a bit of light for me. Maybe things can change. The next morning, I opened my computer and started looking for jobs. I sent emails to shops, cafes, and offices. Daniel looked surprised. "Good. I hope you find something soon," he said. I attended 2 interviews. One shop manager told me, "You're good, but we don't have any openings right now." The other said, "Come back next week. We might have something for you." For the first time in months, I felt a glimmer of hope. That evening, I talked to Lily and Sophie. "I still dream of having another baby, but I also want to work." I told them this. They looked at me and said, "We just want you to be happy, Mom." Those words gave me strength. One morning, the phone rang. A voice said, "Clara, we would like to hire you." My hands trembled. When I shared the news with Daniel, he smiled for the first time in months and said, "I'm proud of you." The first few weeks were tough, waking up early and juggling work and home. But I loved it. I loved earning my own money. I loved meeting new people. I loved feeling alive again. My daughters helped me more around the house. Daniel was gentle, with his words. I still hope to have another baby someday, but now I realize I am strong. I can look after my family and myself. Life will never be simple. However, I have discovered something significant. When you have money, people show you respect. When you don't, even your own family can act differently. So always save something for yourself, because you never know when it might come in handy.